Hey everybody, Frank Finance here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I want to talk about Alibaba and the potential huge Golden Cross event that could happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Now this is basically a technical indicator where the 50-day moving average goes above the 200-day. Now the 200-day has been in a strong decline over the last 2 years, and the 50-day has finally seen a little bit of a bump up. It's the first time we've seen it really in a year and a half, which is quite exciting. And also I think we're going to see some larger days start to drop off that 200, which is going to bring it lower, and the 50-day is going to start to go up. So I'm really excited about that. Let's look at the charts. Real quick, if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Also hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to your content. All right, jumping into the charts, we have our 200-day moving average in pink and our 50-day moving average in purple. Now the thing I want to talk about is some of the prices and what's included in this 200-day, because it's very important as to what I'm going to hint at. So again, as a reminder, just at a high level, we're looking at a golden cross where this 50-day moving average goes above this 200-day. You see the 200-day has been in a very consistent downwards motion here. The thing that I'm excited about is we're going to start to see these dates drop off. Now, if you look between October and current date, you can see that we've had about 190 business days pass. This is critical in the sense that weekends and holidays don't count as trading days. So effectively, we're getting close to hitting that 200 days when we're around October 1st. Now, the reason why I'm looking at this is the last time the stock price, again, at the lowest, this is one of the early parts of October, they were in 144, and they had several days where they were above 170 or around $170 a share. When those start to drop off, obviously the average is also going to dip with it. And that's exciting as you're going to continue to see this 200-day move a little bit lower and lower. While we do see the price action the last 2 months has been on the upward side. And we've finally seen this purple line, the 50-day moving average, start to actually go up. If you look at the 200 or the 50-day over the course of the last, you haven't seen it actually rise. You've seen it just start to flatten out and then take another dive, flatten out, then take another dive. And then this is the first time we've seen it rise really since back here in middle of 2020. So this is a very, in my opinion, an exciting outlook. It looks like regulatory pressures are going to start easing. Recession fears are still in the news, so that's something that we're going to have to overcome. I believe that Alibaba has been beat up so much at this point that I think we will have support around $100 a share. I know we saw it dip down into the $80 or $70 range at one point, so we do need to pay attention to that. I think the most exciting thing, and I've talked about this previously, is for the longest time, you can see Alibaba was trading in these bands, these two purple bands. I've been set probably for almost a year and a quarter now. I've had these bands set up, and it's continued to trade within them. So this is the first time, since June is when they've really broke out of that finally, and I was pretty excited, mainly because if you look at the breakout, the only time they broke above that line was all the way back in, a whole year ago. And it was sustained for very momentarily, where this is a significant break, in my opinion. Is almost going on close to 2 months, getting close to 2 months. We are starting to see it take a little bit nosedive back down. So I'm a little concerned here on that. But overall, the trend looks like it's headed in a positive direction. Again, the key thing to remember here is that the 200-day moving average, we're going to start to see these 170s drop off over the course of the next 2 months, which is going to help drive. You see this 200-day moving average is starting to flatten. We're going to see that hopefully over the next, again, taking that back, is these days we're still a little bit slower of a slide. And also because of these really down days that also kept it continuous in a nosedive. So I'm hoping that Alibaba can trade sideways for a while, that 50-day moving average can at least stall or at least slightly continue to rise, while the 200-day moving averages continues to go down over the next 2 months. At some point, I'm hoping in the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to see this 50-day moving average break the 200. And I'm hoping that it doesn't just bounce right off and head down. I'm hoping that it just, is able to overcome it, similar to what we see. Really, the last time that they broke it was back in this time. But this break here lasted between So when the 50-day moving average broke and they went to a death cross the last time, it went from this August of 2018 to let's see, that's a 6 month period, 7 month period roughly. And this last death cross event has been going on for a year and a half at this point. So we're getting it's a pretty significant period of time. I think we're getting close. Technical indicators look like we're on our way there, but who knows? We're just gonna have to keep paying attention to it. Again, if you haven't, loading up around $100, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. Again, if you've been in this for 2 years now, your losses are pretty substantial at this time. I've made the recommendation in the past to take some of that dollar, not dollar cost average, tax loss harvest, some of that. That was what I did earlier in the year, or actually at the end of 2021, as I had some gains that I wanted to offset. I still think there's a little bit of time to do that, but if you do want a tax loss harvest, I think you should do that pretty relatively quickly, because I think really we're going to see Alibaba go up here in the next 3 to 6 months. Granted, things don't just deteriorate worldwide on an economic level. I think Alibaba should do relatively well, as long as they're just able to maintain, even though their last earnings weren't great, and the last 2 or 3 earnings weren't great. I still think even with those mediocre earnings, they can still continue to, we could possibly see them break that 200-day and go into a golden cross, which would be significant. Now, the benefits of that golden cross is essentially once you break that, is typically the 200-day starts to turn around, and basically the stock starts to uptrend again. So that's effectively what that golden cross indicates. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Thank you so much for watching. I do videos on personal finance, investing, and stock analysis. My name is Frank Finance.